Yeah,
cheating is different. I feel like if someone cheats on you, then yeah, you should take the stuff away because they're being sneaky. They're using you, you know, they're using you. But if you're open about things like I was in this relationship where it just wasn't working, but we remained friends and he was still paying that during our friendship. And then maybe like 5 months later, I got with my guy, you know, you're not going to stop.
I think
Why the hell would you ever pay for someone, you know, buy her a car, buy her her house, and whatever the case may be, if you're just friends? Right? You see, girls place men into two different categories, guys. If they can use you for money and pass you off as a, you know, a friend or just a guy, while they see the actual guy that they want to see, then they will take that opportunity. Okay? So, like, a lot of these girls will, you know, go through life and realize that, hey, you know what? I can get through life a lot easier if I can just rely on men to pay my bills. Guys, do not be paying a girl's bills, especially if you're not in a relationship with her. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, we're looking at a video submission through the Patreon about my ex still pays my bills. Now, it's this woman here whose bills are being paid. So we're going to be taking a look at what she has to say. But before we crack into it, guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord, link in the description if you haven't already. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, the Patreon link is there if you're looking to get more out of the channel and stuff like that. So be sure to check that out. But again, don't go and harass any of these people. I'm going to leave the link to the original video and the original channel in the description. So if you want to go support them, you can. Now let's have a look at what they have to say, guys.
You ever seen your man before and kind of was like, why don't you just pay this shit so we don't gotta worry about him? Like,
yeah, we can just get him out of here.
But he don't have a. Neither have given me an issue.
Is this just like an American girl thing, guys? Like where the girls in America just shout over each other? I'm not from America, but is this normal? Like, I find these things so hard to listen to, man, because these girls will literally just yell over each other the entire time. It drives me crazy. I don't know how you guys listen to it, really.
Issue to where I had to feel like that. You know what I mean? So it's not like that man has ever placed me in a space, like the guy that pays my bills or pays whatever, he's never told me like, yo, you got to figure this out. You know?
Yeah, well, maybe someone should tell you that, right? Like, these girls literally go through their life, and what they do is they just sucker from one man to the next. Now, I'm not saying all girls do that, but I'm saying it's quite easy for them to do so. Right? A lot of these girls are like, oh, I'm an independent woman, I do everything myself. No, you don't. You absolutely don't. A lot of these girls just straight up, they just rely on men to get through their life, and then they want to play the I'm an independent woman, I'm oppressed card. Meanwhile, they don't see that they're literally some of the most privileged people in the world. Isn't that crazy to think, guys? Like, you as a man, you know, you might have to go out there, become like a bricklayer or a carpenter, you know, actually work for these sorts of things. You know what these girls do, guys? They literally have a sugar daddy who will give them money on the side, and then they'll be in a relationship with a different guy who's probably still giving them money, to be honest with you, right? Like, and then if they don't have enough money from that, they can just take photos of themselves online. Now, I don't particularly care if they do that. They can, honestly, they can do whatever they want. You know, simp's gonna simp at the end of the day. But, you know, you want to pull this whole independent woman card. You're independent of what exactly?
See your man as but when you see your man, do you see him as a provider? Because he's not really providing for you. Or
no, he does in every other way. Like, providing for me, like what? Just our home?
I mean, like, who?
Yeah, just the home, guys. Just the home.
Like, who's more important to you right now? Your boyfriend or the one that's paying for your shelter?
They play different roles in my life. You know what I mean?
Guys, many of you guys don't believe me when I say that women will split guys into different categories. Please understand that depending on the behavior that you give a girl, she will put you in a different category. It does not pay to be nice and paying all her bills and solving all of her problems, okay? We as guys, we kind of look at it like, well, if I can just solve her problems, if I can just help her with her life, then she's going to like me. No. See, we as men, we're natural problem solvers, right? Like, we see an issue. If people come to us with an issue, like if one of you guys comes to me with an issue on the Patreon, I naturally want to give you the logical way to solve it. You see what I'm saying? But if you give girls the natural way to solve things, first of all, they're probably not going to listen, right? Second of all, they're not looking to get it solved. And third of all, if you do that, you get placed into the category of, oh, well, he can give me free stuff when I need it. He can solve my problems whether I need that, whether that be financial, logistical, you know, moving houses and stuff like that.
For money and
I
one
mean,
for
obviously,
love.
no. Like my man is my man. Like I'm gonna put him above anybody.
Well,
So one's for love and one's for money.
I'm not with the other person.
But respectfully, right?
Used
Just
to.
because we're not judging you at all.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Ideally, yes, I've dated a guy who was very wealthy. When we separated, he was still paying the bills, right? Under the contingent and the understanding that I'm not fucking with nobody else. So I hid.
Dude, this is actually crazy. Like when I listen to these people speak, a lot of guys will come on here and say, "Oh, Taylor, you're so aggressive. You're attacking these people." I'm not attacking nobody. Like I'm just giving my opinion on the particular situation. These people actually just sound like they're in a yelling match over each other. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But I'm gonna skip past this part because I think she says something a little bit sus, and we're gonna keep going.
This man gotta buy a whole new damn house. Let me talk though. All right, I'll let y'all go. Like, let's be realistic. If I meet a woman that has a beautiful condo that her man has bought her, and I walk in there, the last thought on my mind is like, oh shit, she was getting fucked in here. I gotta buy her a whole new condo. I'm not doing that. Listen, I ain't a real nigga then. I'm gonna go in there and say, damn, old girl hooked this bitch. And I'm gonna try to add to the spot, like a new mattress, you know, maybe
right.
some bigger TVs
That's
in
what
this
we
bitch.
did.
I'm
We
gonna
did all
spice it
that.
up. But it's like, y'all put so much pressure on men financially. It's like, that's just too much pressure. So if I meet a girl and she comes to my house, right? Should that girl feel like, well, I'm fucking you now, Guapo, and this bed has been used and abused probably, buy a new mattress. That to me is like, girl,
I'm gonna buy you a
you
new
are doing
I mean, I don't particularly understand this line of questioning, line of thinking. Mainly because I'm not out here chasing relationships, and I know many of you guys aren't. I'm not looking to move in with no girl. I'm not looking to have a girl move in with me, and I'm sure that many of you can relate to that because you know the risks associated with that. Guys, depending on where you live, if you get into a relationship with a girl in a physical sense, like let's just say she moves in with you, or we talked about the other day about child support. You can be on the route for things like child support. It just makes it so much easier for the government to get involved in your life if you're living with a girl, right? So if you're not intending to marry a girl, which I wouldn't recommend you do, this whole moving in thing, oh, I'm going to help you build your crib or vice versa, man, like, one, who even cares about that? And two, like, why am I buying you things for your house? I don't exactly understand it. But this man's right. Like, the financial pressure that these women tend to put on men is pretty ridiculous, right? You as a man, you're generally expected to provide something to the relationship, whether that be something you built, maybe some good emotions or something like that. Girls just kind of show up. I'm going to quickly pull up a story, guys, and we're going to have a bit of a talk about this real quick before we move on. But we're just going to quickly run over this story, and I just wanted to bring this up to highlight how women will separate men, okay? Because a lot of you guys still don't quite understand this when I talk about it. So let's just quickly go through this story. Fiance, a 26-year-old female, talked to me, a 26-year-old female, about a polyamorous relationship. Now, I understand that these are both women, but I want you guys to understand what exactly is happening when a girl brings up, a polyamorous relationship or something like that, because this situation is definitely something that happens to men, okay? So bear with me here. Thoughts on how to feel. So last night, my fiance got back from a trip to Colorado with a female friend of hers. She talked to me about a polyamorous relationship where she would have that friend of hers on the side, and I'd be free to pursue people on the side myself. She's the only one I've ever been with, so to be honest, I am looking forward to getting the chance to experience bedroom fun with more people. For her, it's this one specific person, not multiple other people. We talked it over, and we seemed to be okay with everything. I'm just the type of person who worries about a lot of things. She made it very clear that nothing's happening with us. We are still getting married next year and starting a family and future together. Now, again, I'm aware that this is two women, guys, but I'm just using this to illustrate what happens, okay? So what girls will do is they'll get a guy who they're actually attracted to, right? Whether that's because, he looks good or whatever the case may be. And she'll sleep with him, but then she'll have the guy. There's a difference between a serious relationship and a non-serious one, okay? So like a lot of guys will think, oh, well, I'm in a serious relationship, so she must really like me. But what they don't understand is they're a provider, and their girl isn't even attached to them. Like their girl is out here, and I'm saying this. I'm not saying this to be rude, but if you were to look at this woman right here, I'm gonna make the screen a bit bigger so you guys can see. if you were in a relationship with this woman right here, would you feel like she's fully invested in you? Like, let's just take into account her attitude, you know, her outfit, shall we say? And would you think that you know, that's your girl, right? And again, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'd be thinking she's for the streets. Like, I mean, like this kind of attire is what you would see on nights out. You feel me? But let's continue.
Doing a bit much.
I'll buy it for you.
I get you. Now that's different. You can buy me a gift though, but don't have these girls out here watching this video like every man I meet.
Wow, you're gonna take the bet back when you break up?
Every man I meet.
No, he can have it.
Every man I meet has to buy me a new mattress. Don't be putting that on no man, and don't have these girls watching this video thinking that every man they meet, oh, I love your apartment. We gotta move. Why? Because you fucked here before.
No.
Why does she look like a like you know how when you tell like a little kid off or something, and they look at the ground like this, like look at this. You know what I mean? Like they're not listening really.
Fucked here before.
No,
That's not realistic.
That's not what I'm saying.
Let me go. I took it like that. I took it like you said that your mom's boyfriend, maybe your mom has to be at least 50. All right? So let's just say a 50-year-old man should I have to buy a new house for his new woman. You have a house. You've been blessed with a house. I'm dating you. We're going to make this our house. And I'm going to add to it, help with the bills, and be a part of your house.
But the man is no longer, listen, hold on, but the man that's no longer living there isn't still paying the rent there, isn't still paying the mortgage there, isn't still contributing to that household being a household while another man is staying there. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm telling you this though. Every man that meets a woman that has a house, a home, does not have to feel like I have to upgrade the whole house, new sheetrock, and no, that's too much on a guy. It should be, listen, I had a husband before I met you, and he took care of me in this house. As my new man, let's come through and help do the same thing.
Exactly.
But I'm trying to follow this man's point. Like it's a little bit hard to follow here. I think he's just trying to outline that the burden of performance on men is unfair, which I think that's what he's saying insofar as, you know, improving the house kind of thing, where a woman's not necessarily expected to do that, but a man is. I mean, here's the thing, guys. Like, you get all of these top percentage guys who get into relationships. I mean, excuse me, don't get into relationships, and you know, having just casual fun with all of these women. I never understand what is the point of inviting a woman just into your life. Okay, like a lot of these guys a lot of you guys are still out there looking for long-term relationships and stuff like that. I cannot, in good conscience, say that that's a good idea. Now, can you do it if you want? Sure, it's your life. Like, you live however you want. But insofar as, especially like, you know, intertwining financials and stuff like that, you know, a lot of guys. Please don't be combining finances, none of that crap. But as far as the burden of performance goes, guys, is like, if you're a guy and you're performing well in life, you know, you got your money together, you're looking good, you're hitting the gym and stuff like that, there is no reason why, like, some girl who you're just going to invite her into your life to as if she's going to help you solve any sort of problems. A lot of these girls will be like, oh yeah, I helped him grow up his business. He wouldn't have made it without me. No, the guy would have made it without you. Like, a lot of these girls think that they're helping, think that they're solving some sort of business problem, and you look at them and you're like, okay, well, where's your business? And don't tell me it's that spicy site online, or that you sell fake eyelashes off of AliExpress. Okay, that's not a business that you have. All right. But I just never understand it, man, because I really appreciate what this guy's doing. Like, he's trying to explain the double standard, I feel like. But at the end of the day, she ain't going to be listening. And you can be sure that the other lady on the couch is not listening. It's just a bit of a rough situation to be in.
As far as him saying a whole new house, that's pressure that men don't need, and don't have women thinking that.
But I don't mean he has to put up all the money to move us into a new place, a new space. What I mean is, for example, my man now, his apartment already existed with him, and he had one with him and his baby moms at one point. He's like, come stay with me. I don't want to stay there.
Extra.
Whatever, call it what you want. I'm gonna stay at my place and you stay at yours, and then when we find a place mutually for us to live in together, we get a place together.
What the?
Well,
I'm sorry.
It's not fully extra, because I know I left my relationship, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I will not move a man in my place until I get another place. I don't want a man in that bed with me because that's my ex and that's our environment. So I probably get new furniture if I'm gonna move him in or go to somewhere else, because all the memory of my ex is in that apartment. So I wouldn't feel comfortable having my new man in that bed at all. That's why I got a joke.
If my man had a man.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, is this all just justification for, you know, wanting the guy to get a new spot? Like, it very well could be. But all this talk of, like, guys, you should not be moving in with a girl, right? It doesn't matter. You should not be moving in with a girl, especially, like, one that, you know, you've got something romantic going in with. Absolutely not. Okay, now whether you're like a university student or something like that, and you want to, you know, you're early on into your life and you want to live in a share house with a girl or two, like that's different story, right? But if you're talking about relationship and, oh yeah, but these people, man, I never understand, you know, they get to their late 20s, early 30s, and then they think to themselves, you know what's going to solve my problems, guys, is I'm just going to move in with somebody. If you haven't got your stuff sorted out, your life sorted out by then, and you want to move in with a partner, that's, to me, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, that is only going to add more problems, especially if you were a guy. Okay, like you as a guy, I just want you to think about how much you're actually being interrupted. Okay, let's just say you've got a business going, you're trying to grow it, you're trying to become successful, okay? And then you're having to deal with, you know, your partner in the house. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to your partner, but let's just say you got a partner in the house. Well, all of a sudden, your life's looking a bit more like, well, clean the gutters now, go do this, go do that. And, you know, the responsibilities that come with a relationship, right, is like, you will have things demanded of you as a guy that are just not worth it. Like, you're much better off just being by yourself a lot of the time, right? And you'll get a lot of guys over this side of the internet who have already come to that conclusion, who are thinking to themselves, what is the point of living with these people, man? Not only is it just highly annoying, and I'm expected to do lots more than if I was by myself. Not only those two things in place, but it's also just a huge goddamn distraction, right? Like, how am I supposed to get anything done when a lot of you guys who have been in marriages and stuff like that, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you come home from long days of work, and then all of a sudden you got a list of things to do, like a list of more problems that you have to solve. It's literally like you've come home to a second boss, and that's what girls will do, right? And they'll try and weasel more compliance out of you. It's ridiculous.
Mansion, and I don't care if he did the Playboy bunny lifestyle. I'm moving in that bitch. I don't care. Tell me what happened and whatever happened.
I think y'all up here, right? And look, and now I love y'all, but I think y'all up here with Big Cat.
I have a question. What if, like, I didn't say like the whole story from the beginning, but like I was dating this person for like 4 or 5 years, and in the first 2 years, I supported myself, but also helped them build their business. And the
Yeah, see, this is where we get into questionable waters of how the hell are you helping build a business? Like, I can't see it in my mind. If you were such a good business person and entrepreneur, you knew what you were doing, like, where's her business to show for? Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, her life's getting paid for by her ex, right?
like I dedicated all my space and time and everything to their personal business. And I ended up getting them like a $50,000 loan. I ended up doing like a whole bunch of things that's
a whole bunch of things that obviously we won't go into because they have no, logical use in the world, right? Like no actual utility. But yeah, thank you for submitting those loan application forms that he could have done himself. You see, girls will try and they'll try and pull this crap where it's like, oh yeah, I helped him with his life, I helped him solve all of his problems, and then you start to dig into what they actually do, and I'd be willing to bet a pretty high sum that she didn't actually do crap, right? And I'm not saying that to be rude to the girl. I'm saying that because objectively, I don't think that she contributed that much, and she'd probably fight me tooth and nail on that, and she'd be like, well, Taylor, I invested so much time into helping my man grow, but you got to ask, where are the receipts, right? Like, you helped him get his loan is the only piece of evidence you're giving here.
Set them up to be in the space where they were able to make $3,500, let's say, a night on their space or whatever. So then that's at the second year. I was probably like 23, 24 years old when I did that. So then when the person got me the car and the apartment and everything, I was like 27, but our relationship was already like dying off. We were like friends, but you know what I mean? Until
yeah, guys, the relationship was dying off and we were kind of friends. You guys ever notice how the relationship dies off because it's beneficial to her? You see what I'm saying? Like it has like a slow decline please, guys, if you stop seeing a girl romantically, right, the relationship just needs to end. No huffing and puffing about, guys. Just end the relationship, call it right there, and then leave it. Okay? None of this I'm going to call back and we're going to have weekly discussions about how our lives are going after we've broken up. If you're breaking up with a girl, you just cut it off. Never come back, never answer her from then. Now, if you guys have kids together, that's obviously a different story because you need to communicate to take care of the kids. But in general, guys, we're not having a declining relationship. As soon as that starts to decline, you fix it or I'm gone. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to leave today's video there. I'm going to leave the link to the full original thing in the description so you can go and watch it if you'd like. But as always, guys, leave your thoughts below, your comments and stuff like that. Let us know what you think. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And as always, guys, if you'd like to support the channel, be sure to check out the Patreon link in the description. You get access to exclusive videos and stuff like that. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter, go ahead and check out that link in the description. But as always, guys, take care, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.